We're briefly going to look at oak trees. And worldwide, there are 600 different types of oak trees. With a lot of them found in Mexico, there's actually 125 endemic or native species found in Mexico alone. But in Ireland, again, our diversity is quite low. We have two native oak trees that you might come across, sessile oak and pedunculate oak. And we also would have red oak and holm oak, just they might be two other ones you might come across. The red oak is the one you see here on your photo at the moment, and in autumn time the colour is absolutely fabulous. The holm oak, also known as evergreen oak, looks a little bit like I suppose slightly like a holly tree, but again it wouldn't be as prickly, and the underside of the leaf would be actually whiter in colour. Again, it's not one that you're going to see an awful lot, but just in case you come across something you're not familiar with that looks a little bit like holly, it just might be holm oak. Now, if we're meant to ID oak trees, there's a couple of key features that you need to keep an eye on. The first is the placement of the leaves on the branches, and as you can see here, the leaves are alternating up and down the branch. So that is the first key for oak. When we talk about the native oak trees in Ireland, the sessile oak and pedunculate oak, the lobing is a key for that. So they're strongly lobed, as you can see here. It can be quite difficult to tell the difference between sessile oak and pedunculate oak with the leaf alone. Usually if the acorn is present, it's the easiest way to identify the difference between them. And you're lucky this time of year, usually around November, the acorns should be out. So that's a good indication. Now, if you only have the leaf alone, usually with sessile oak, you'll find that the leaf itself is usually broader on the upper part of the leaf rather than the lower part. Usually there might be 5 to 6 lobes on either side of the leaf, and there will be a longer stalk on the leaf meeting the stem in comparison to the pedunculate oak as well. But in reality, the acorn itself would actually be the handiest way of IDing both of them. Here we have pedunculate oak, and I always remember it as a pipe, and the P for pedunculate is the acorn that has a pipe. I don't know, it might help you remember it. And there's a long stalk, around 1.5 centimeters long, of a stalk onto the acorn for pedunculate oak. Again, with the pedunculate oak, you might also notice that the leaves might have less lobing, so maybe 3 to 5 different lobes on either side, and they will have a very short stalk on the leaf. They have the stalk on the acorn, but the stalk on the leaf is very, very tiny, and sessile oak has a bigger stalk on the leaf, we'll say. Another feature you might notice with pedunculate oak is at the base of the leaf here, where the stalk meets the leaf margin, there may be 2 little auricles, kind of fold backs or roll backs on the base of the leaf here. Again, it's a feature that may be there, but it can sometimes not be that clear. So realistically, if you have the acorns, it's the easiest method of identifying them. Now, if you don't have acorns and you don't have leaves, you still can identify oak quite easily with just the buds themselves. One key for identifying the oak trees with buds is the cluster of cream buds at the top of the stems. You can see here very clearly, just there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 little buds or cluster of buds at the top, and they're kind of creamy in colour with these scales. So again, that is a very important key for identifying oak. Enjoy it, and I hope you can find both sessile and pedunculate oak for your native species, and if you need a non-native species, you can bring in your lovely red oak as well. Best of luck.